How to outsmart the devil. Because you gotta always understand and understand something. When you on a mission, when you got goals and you got a purpose, you're always gonna be basically going down the block and of course coming across obstacles. And of course certain tools that's gonna block you and place you into situations where you may basically develop some form of frustration, anger. And when you in the anger and frustration, you gotta understand something. This is where you know you're being attacked. This is where you kind of like being tainted. And this is how, spirits can pretty much try to keep you hindered in certain areas, especially if you're pretty much trying to get from point A to point B to point C. And it's always highly important to make sure your mind is clear. And the reason is this, because if your mind is baggage and you got a whole lot of shit on your mind, then your mind's going to have a whole much baggage. And of course, your mind ain't going to be able to be free to actually create another vessel or create another valve to pretty much get your body flowing and going into the right area. See, when your mind is clear, you will be able to actually receive the message that's coming to you. And of course, the message is going to be able to actually bring pieces and certain information that you need to go ahead and, start putting the puzzle together and, of course, remixing things up. Now, you got to be aware of the shit that you get into. And, of course, the people, places, and things that you associate yourself with. Because, of course, associating yourself with the wrong individuals is going to pretty much always put you in a down state. And the moment you're in a down state, and the moment you're in a situation or process of feeling that you're obligated to do something or pretty much go to extremes and feeling that you have a cage on your motherfucking back, then, of course, this is strike number one. You got to be aware of what's going on at the point. And, of course, if you're feeling this inside of you, then, of course, it's already your spirit talking to you and, of course, trying to tell you something. So you got to be aware, fam. You got to be aware. Not just using your ears, but you got to utilize how you feel on the inside about things. You got to actually analyze certain things and look at the bigger picture. And, of course, when you look at the bigger picture, you'll be able to actually get through all the lower pictures and actually be able to pinpoint the smaller pictures and put everything together. Because when everything together, when everything folds together, when everybody's working together, then, of course, everything is going to be flowing. But the moment your heart is telling you to do this, your mind is saying to do this, you're kind of like miscellaneous. You got to utilize your number 7. Your angelic number, or aka stand or rise above, leave the flesh, leave all the desires down here, because of course these desires can get you caught up and of course get you killed in certain situations and scenarios. Especially, you may not even be in that desire, but of course the person that you intimacy in with can be in that desire, or the person that you sleeping with can be in that desire. And just by you having that individual around you, or just by you basically interacting with that individual, you pretty much are marrying those baggages. And of course, when you marry those baggages, this put a whole lot of burdens on you. And of course, this keep you trapped and concealed. And of course, when you get trapped and concealed in a certain area, in a certain location, then of course, you're always going to be basically in prison, which means you're going to be having to put up a fight or a battle to basically get your ass up out of there. So it's highly important to basically see things from a mile away before you participate in that mile.